Monsters infest the forests. Demons foul dwarven minds. Dragons roam the skies. The populace cries out for heroes in their time of need. Heroes with cunning, prowess, intelligence, and perhaps even the favor of gods. These are not those heroes.
Hello and welcome to TBD Tabletop Games, where we play D&D in such a fashion where I tell a vague story, my players ask me questions about it, and then I try to kill them for their insolence. As usual.
Perfect.
I think we'll start off with just brief introductions once again for anyone who's just joining us. Start over on my far right, stage left.
My name's Derek and I'm a Forest Gnome Rogue.
Perfect. What was your name though? Is Davar, right?
Dubinsky.
I'm Xander, and I'm playing Tyriel, and I'm an alcoholic. But seriously, I'm playing...
No, about your character.
Oh, wow. Wrong side.
Wrong group,
Wrong group. I usually sit on the
It's
other
the
side.
same. It's the same group.
Yeah. Less alcohol here.
It's Monday.
This is more anonymous.
I'm playing Tyriel, a Asimir cleric, and I am here to guide the ignorant.
Seriously?
Okay, we have a new player next.
I'm Dan. He's guiding me.
Guidance.
I'm playing a drow bard. His name is Regis. These guys haven't met him yet.
You just
Is that your final answer?
Wrong. Supposed to stay next to Kelly.
Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee also works.
Also acceptable.
Yeah.
I'm Amir, and I'm Amir,
There you go.
That's it.
yeah, and I play Big Richie. He's a character. You'll see it. It's wizard. That's it.
It's wizard.
It's wizard.
It's wizard.
Holy wizard. My name's Jody. I play Dee Dee, a halfling melee ranger.
Did you pick your,
Planar warrior.
pardon me?
No, wrong one. That's one of the factions. Horizon Walker.
Horizon Walker. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
neat one. That's a neat one.
Okay,
And I am Cobble. That is with 4 A's, 2 B's, C somewhere in there, and an L. And I am playing Dane. He is a fighter. So I'm going to try and protect you guys. Not really.
Nice. I like it.
Shield of Faith.
Sure.
Shield of Faith? Yes, you can cast that on me. I will run away the other way. Got it.
Shit.
That's not how it works.
So,
I do not think you know.
last time our adventurers started their ascent into the tower proper, having a harrowing fight on a balcony far above the plateau below, finding their way inside the fabled library that they had heard so much about, discovering something very peculiar. It appears as though not all of the constructs are just metal constructs. Some of them have gnomes stuffed inside of them, just as makeshift structure. I'm not sure why. It all has a very good in-universe explanation that I cannot think of right now. It's there though. They were able to find their way into the private quarters of this mad wizard who owns this tower, finding just kind of an array of notes and scribbles and scrawling all over little pieces of paper, all just covered this room. Rich kind of Big Rich set to work right away, trying to decipher what information may lay within these pages, while Dee Dee almost stumbled upon a small cache of what turned out to be a wizard's spellbook, holding many valuable incantations within its leather-bound tome. You've all been able to take a long rest inside this little room, but you're not having the most restful of sleeps. You're kind of haunted by these dreams of like a specter kind of chasing you as you're trying to run, trying to get away from things. But kind of these steel gauntlets that are far larger than life seem to be closing in around you as you kind of wake up with a gasp. Taking a look around, you see that, what was his name? Adamar? Adamar is not quite awoken from the sleep. He seems to be kind of tossing and turning, and you surmise maybe the best thing for him might be depowering this kind of tower itself, as it seems to have an effect on those who remain in it. It's not long before you kind of hear a small knock at the door, your alarm spell going off only moments before, and you hear a familiar voice as you...
I'm gonna yell at you guys because you left me behind again because I stopped for a nap. That's rude.
I go back
We're not home!
I'll let him in.
Okay. So you're now kind of the four of you are reunited inside this wizard's kind of...
Unless you guarded, I didn't need your help, man. I probably would have just picked the lock in. And...
Probably. But he was being nice.
Yeah.
You find yourselves again in this kind of wizard's quarters. Big Rich has been kind of poring over these notes for a while. You have had the time to copy one spell into your book, kind of while in your downtime.
Okay.
But kind of going through all these notes, there seems to be something kind of really peculiar going on that these notes are trying to document. You kind of have to put some aside. This stuff is earlier, this stuff is later, but slowly kind of an image of what's going on starts to kind of appear to you. It appears that these constructs, or at least as far as you can tell, are more of the beginning rather than the end goal. It seems like the wizard here was intent on building something far, far larger. And more so, he was planning on implanting his own withered form kind of nestled safely inside of something far larger. Something that would be covered by layers of plates, followed by cogs kind of grinding away in this inside, and then in the very center, withered old gnomish necromancer kind of trapped in the middle. Kind of going on, you are on with these notes, you are able to determine that this guy is most certainly some kind of a lich, and he seems to be making specific notes of this is all to protect the soft nougaty core of any lich, which is his shriveled, withered heart, which still beats somewhere deep within this giant construct he's trying to make. You can tell that they made considerable progress. You're not sure how far along they are, as this is clearly a long-term project. But it's certainly something that would be unimaginably powerful.
Does Big Rich know if tower is construct?
The tower itself is not necessarily a construct, but you do believe that he was kind of going over his notes and examining his process and what he was doing. It looks like what may have occurred is that he tried to infuse his soul into this giant construct too soon, before it was fully prepared to house such an immense power. And you think something might have gone wrong and channeled it through the tower rather than into the construct itself. You think a piece of the necromancer may be kind of attached to the walls of the tower itself, kind of living in the tower in a way.
Interesting.
Lich inside tower.
Tower is the lich.
No.
You two
Lich
really
inside tower.
are amazing.
Like, yes, we are.
Okay. Let us continue.
Yeah. So you're fairly confident that he's trying to kind of encase himself in kind of a steel construct, a giant golem, to protect kind of his weak, vulnerable, gooey insides.
The nougat.
Yeah, the new kit that is the Lich.
Would Big Rich know if we're talking a lich that would be able to kill us just like that, or a lich that's kind of
Can't stop
No,
You
speaking.
can go ahead and make an Arcana check, yeah?
Oh,
Guidance.
ooh, that's good. Okay. 21, 26.
You get the impression that this Lich, while most Liches funnel all their attention into just the pure accumulation of power, this particular Lich seems to have kind of deviated a little bit from that, in the fact that he's trying to infuse his power into these constructs rather than through himself directly. He certainly would not be a force to take lightly, but you do believe a lot of his power kind of comes from the constructs he is creating.
Okay. So if we kill construct, it hurt him.
That seems like a reasonable deduction to you, yeah.
I agree.
I say that to everyone. Alright, let us continue up.
Yeah.
Upwards, onwards.
Um,
And
So-
deathwards.
Well, hopefully not.
hopefully not.
No, I was asking if you had spelled deathward.
Guidance.
No.
I do not. I do not.
Level 4. So
Yeah.
it's a good one.
You start kind of climbing these stairways. Sorry, you gonna say something?
Mage armor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, having kind of a good idea of this, what may lay ahead of you, just kind of this giant metal constructs just layered in different.
I'm hanging out in the back.
Pardon me?
I'm hanging out in the back.
Okay, yeah, you're kind of trailing behind as Rich just kind of keeps pondering about how to deal with this kind of layered, it's like an onion kind of thing. Layers of kind of protective.
Tears.
Yeah. You reach a kind of a small platform about midway, and you see two more of these armored, animated armors just kind of standing in the corner of this small platform as the stairs continue to rise up. And as the the four of you approach them, they kind of snap to attention for a minute. The metal on their masks kind of contorting to form a mouth that starts speaking. They say, the one on the kind of the right hand side of you guys says, "The master is deemed only the intelligent may get audience with him." And the second one kind of goes, "Yes, a test, a test." And the first one chimes back in, "One of us tells the truth." And the other one, "One of us only lies. You must pick," they say in unison, as the four of you kind of crowd around on this kind of small platform around these two animated armor, what you know to be animated constructs. You've gotten far closer than you've ever been able to before without them just kind of instantly attacking. But yeah, you guys are kind of up here on this little platform. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Are we restricted to how many answers?
Nothing implies that there's any restriction.
Okay. I just wanted to get that out of the way first, just make sure.
No, they're kind of remained very almost a stony silence ever since. One seems a little taller, the other one seems a little squatter, taller than a gnome, but more
Wisdom.
wider.
What was that?
Like,
You have good
Am I
wisdom.
Have
wise?
met you yet?
No,
Nope.
I'm not there.
You guys, it's just the four of you.
Alright.
So, they didn't say anything outside of one of us tells the truth and one of us tells a lie.
Yeah,
That's
we
it,
don't know which one is which,
yeah.
and I'm
But
assuming.
what I'm...
I think I got it.
Okay.
Alright.
Maybe. I whispered to these guys. Okay, I think this is the answer. If I ask the other guy, would he tell me that you are the liar or not? Because if he is,
Close enough.
if he is the liar, then this guy will say truthfully that he is the liar, and if he's not the liar, then the other guy would lie about it and say that he is the liar.
But the liar can just say anything.
You're not here.
Well, no, the liar would have to answer the question though, right?
So what is our? We have to figure out which
What
one
the
is
liar?
which one, right?
Mm-hmm. You can make. I wish it would organize these checks a little bit better for me.
Intelligence or wisdom?
I want to say, yeah, an insight check, wisdom.
Can I participate in this?
Yeah, you can give him. You can help him or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Sure. I have +3 for what we have.
I have +2.
Okay. Here, guidance.
Boo. Is that how you do it?
That's what I got.
That's the sign. That's the sound of guidance.
Okay.
I have a look at the floor and see if I can tell if there's more marked tracks heading for one.
Okay, yeah, you can make a perception check.
I'll do an insight with guidance.
Okay, go ahead.
That's an 8.
17.
17. Yeah, you just kind of see even dust on the ground. Tyrael is kind of pondering it for a minute, kind of looking around a little bit, and he stops for a moment and says, "There's just 2 of them. And there's 4 of us. Do we have to figure this out?"
We can figure it out with our minds or with our melee.
Stupid constructs. I won't start. Pick a door. Either door.
There's kind of stairs that lead up and then stairs that lead up again, and you're kind of just sitting on this platform.
Oh, there's
Okay,
no.
I'm
There's
just
no
going-
doors
I'm
behind
just
them.
going up the stairs.
Yeah, is there nothing stopping us?
Yeah, you can
There's
just keep.
gonna be, but stupid
Okay.
constructs.
Okay, well I'm gonna hang back while you
Rich,
test
would
something.
you like to ask them a question at all?
I don't. Okay. If I ask the other guy, I go up to one of the taller one.
Yeah.
If I ask the other guy, would he tell me that you are a liar or not?
Okay, so you go to the one up to the right.
Tall one.
Yes.
As you kind of start slowly progressing towards the stairway, and you speak this question, and the animated armor. If you ask this one, other one say that it doesn't seem to have the cognitive power to answer your question, and it kind of starts shaking violently a bit.
Actually broke.
And then falls over, kind of shaking. And again, the magic kind of infusing the armor, similar to as you've seen below, just kind of starts shaking and kind of popping off. And you realize that there are actual more individuals stuffed inside these suits of armor as well. The other one seems to have kind of slumped over and gone silent as well, as this one is just frantically vibrating itself to death, trying to understand the simple question.
I kill people with my brain.
And in response, the one that's kind of stopped vibrating, the armor's kind of fallen kind of to the wayside. The taller one seems to have revealed somebody who's got black skin, dark skin,
Yeah.
very dark skin, gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have talked about
you're-
this before
you're
we started.
stereotypical drow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm picturing what's the Chinese guy from Community. Chang. Yeah, exactly like that.
I don't even speak Spanish.
So
You feel you're exhausted. One level. You've been trapped in this armor for a long time. Similarly, the other one to its right kind of falls over under its own weight, kind of a helmet kind of spinning off, revealing a dwarven features beneath. Similarly, you are as well one level of exhausted.
One
Can
level
I
is that.
see if they have anything worth stealing?
It's hard to tell because they're still kind of a little bit encased.
Okay.
And it would be hard to do so without it immediately being evident that you are looting them.
Alright.
You maybe frisk them a little bit. They don't
Yeah.
seem like they have a whole lot
I'm
on
gonna
them.
dust them off later. You know?
Yeah, as you're helping them up.
Armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're helping them up and out. But yeah, you guys are now. You've been trapped in this armor for a long time. Your memory's probably a bit hazy from the experience. Whatever brought you to the tower when you originally arrived is up to you. Figure out your own shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, you now are kind of a little bewildered, a little confused, but you are now kind of with the party standing on this little platform, if not a little tired.
My name is Regis. I am a bard. What the are you doing here, you crazy guys?
I am leaving. I start moseying up.
Do I trust you?
You don't know. He is a drow.
I Of course you trust me. I was trapped in magic armor.
Why would you? Why would you?
Oh man.
I feel like we're just getting mired into that.
What?
You're so wacky.
Why
Hurry
were
up
you
down there!
trapped in the armor?
Well,
Are you into freaky shit?
I am drow, of course. I'm trying to take your accent now. Anyway, it is easy for me to get trapped in armor by a very powerful mage. I came here looking for song.
I am powerful mage. Do you want to get trapped in there again?
Maybe different time.
Get a room.
We go. What you guys are going up? Yes, find many books.
Already.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's
At this point, Dane stands up. Oh, blind! What the hell was that all about? Suddenly, I'm just trapped in this. I'm going to migrate to your accent.
I'm trying to figure out if it's Scottish or Aussie or.
Yes, that's right.
It doesn't matter.
It sounds really dwarvish.
Yeah.
I'm extremely charismatic.
I came to find a new recipe for some leather working because I need some new bracers. But as I look at my bracers, they all start crumbling off as I've been in this for so long. The leather that I had on my
not
gloves
holding
is
up.
not holding up.
It's a little
they
musky.
just kind of like fall apart as I do that. And like, oh,
It's a little
I'm
musky.
gonna have to start all over again.
You've got definitely a very strong scent of dwarf about you right now.
Oh yes.
You very much would appreciate a chance to wash up and get game fresh.
As it
Put it
were,
there?
I think
Yeah,
that I would
yeah.
just really enjoy the smell to begin with, but it is getting a little stale, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Do you want copper to rub yourself with? It helps get rid of smell.
We have many pounds of copper.
A lot.
I'm all good. I'm all good. I will grab something else later.
I dropped like a 10-pound copper bar. Clang.
I
Yourself
just-
with this dwarven soap.
I grab
No,
some.
no, it's party.
I grab some of that. I try and grab some of that. I'm not sure if you're gonna stop me. I put it in my bag. I'm like, this will make a great axe later.
Okay.
Sure. Do you guys want to continue on then?
Onwards and upwards.
We're going up the stairs.
Yeah, there's
Up?
only one
Yeah.
new way.
Do we have weapons?
for the sake of brevity, you will have whatever weapons you would normally start with.
Yeah.
So my +3 rapier.
No, I'm going to start you guys right in front of the boss. No weapons.
Okay.
Just only this.
I cast.
I don't really need
Sweet.
weapons. I'm a caster.
Sweet. What do you play? What's yours? What is?
I have a couple of instruments. You'll
This is
see.
like the zoo one.
Can you play Freebird?
Jesus.
I only play one song. Stairway Down.
I like soft kitty I don't usually play that, but
So favorite, yeah.
it helped me go to sleep.
Do you know Despacito?
Oh no.
So overplayed.
Can you play Sandstorm?
Yeah, I have a flute.
I-
That's one of my things. This is a
You
flute.
did
I saw
probably have a flute.
Nice. I can't play it though.
I start beating the bass bit line with my axe of Sandstorm.
On your head.
I check around for traps or any hidden kind of,
Guidance.
Yeah, no, this doesn't appear to be kind of an elaborate trap or anything to you. It seems like a really poorly thought out kind of like front doorman.
Like they were gonna do something but didn't get around to it.
Yeah, almost as if like he had this awkward gap he needed to fill.
I like it, maybe like as some sort of exposition for some new characters or something.
I couldn't make that assumption.
Oh, okay.
So you're all okay. So as you guys start to kind of ascend these stairs, they kind of wind back around so that you can kind of feel the cold on the exterior wall as you come up. You guys are all going to arrive kind of right. This is where the stairs kind of let out. This little red spot. So I don't know what your whole marching order would be.
I'm in the rear.
Yeah, like I assume that me and him are trying to like fight to stay in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, there's two.
Right in the middle.
There's two. This is just kind of. You'll start counting right, basically from here. So there'll be 5, 10 as you move out. I just needed a starting position.
Middle.
Up front then, because I was.
Yeah.
In there, because I went up.
I will be roughly second in line at the moment, but heading up front because of my dwarvish bravado and I really need a drink. I'm looking for it.
Armin made like
So as you start to climb, the roof above you opens up into sky. Again, the cold wind whips and tears at you. 3 of you are not wearing warm weather gear. I'd like you to make con saves, please. Yeah, sorry. Cold weather gear.
That's at disadvantage,
Yes, I
we're
know.
exhausted.
Oh, right.
No, it only for ability checks.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
these are saves, yeah.
These are
21.
9.
11's my lowest.
Disadvantage?
Well, 11
I have a
or
second point of
I don't
exhaustion.
get this.
Yes. It's okay. You're the only person it's okay for.
my first.
Yeah, because, well, we're not in Sunday, are we?
No, my first roll was.
Oh yeah, you
Like
are.
direct Sunday?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're direct Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
As you start kind of climbing these stairs, you're near the top. There's a shimmering kind of magical dome that the snow is kind of softly gathered upon, which as you start to crest, immediately dispels, allowing a large amount of snow just to kind of flump and fall to the ground as the top of the tower is kind of completely open.
Oh, that will leave a mark.
As you reach the top, you see a giant. I just got that. A giant construct, as represented by.
Love it.
Perfect.
Kind of at the pinnacle of this tower, flanked by rows of other smaller animated armors. As looking upon this kind of mighty beast to be beheld, it's as clearly not finished. Only one of the arms is even attached. The other one is kind of lying on the ground to the side, clearly being prepped. There's like a little bit of a crane or something being built to try and lift it up there. But this thing is massive. It is huge.
Someone's clearly compensating for something.
And as you do so, you see 3 other kind of animated armors kind of working upon it.
Are these?
Yeah, those are all animated armors.
Are they moving?
These ones are all holding very still,
Okay.
just kind of in position. These 3 are kind of lifting things and putting their hands inside it and kind of working on it in some manner.
Can I try pushing them over with Mage Hand?
Not currently.
You only got 10 pounds.
As you guys crest that final step, the 3 armors kind of all together turn, looking directly at you. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh. Everybody got low initiative, I think.
I got 4. Or
I got
6,
4.
I mean.
Oh.
Nailed it.
I think I can only do that or that. It's a concentration boost.
Okay, so, anybody 18 or above? Or?
Good job.
Okay.
Why is blood there?
It's just a marker, just so you guys know, because there are stairs that kind of go up here and then up here. So there is a bit of a stair. Okay.
I'm not good.
Anybody who's next after 18?
Okay.
I've got 12.
I have 13.
Okay.
My speed is halved because I'm tired.
Oh, yes.
Do I have plus restoration?
This is.
I do not.
It does not help with that.
Oh my goodness, this is some crazy walk. I'm so tired.
Ah,
The only
who's
this,
after-
level 2 is
Yeah,
speed
I'm
up.
Who's
down.
after? Pardon?
Dana's fault.
Dana's 12. Okay. Who's next? After 12.
8.
I
8.
got 6, yeah.
What'd you
4.
get? And.
Oh,
4 also.
Hey, that works out.
wonderful.
26.
Goodbye.
I don't have power. I mean, you are gonna be. You just was 6?
Yes.
That's how she should all go. Okay. So it's a bit of a complicated thing. Great. As you kind of crest this top, and these 3 constructs kind of all turn their gaze towards you, you once again kind of hear that ethereal voice you've heard ringing out. No, no, no! This is not the contract! You have broken our contract! The sacred contract! You will be punished! Flung from the roofs! And you see kind of an ethereal, purple, kind of malicious presence seem to coalesce and form as one of these begins to activate. It seems a bit different from the other ones. It's got kind of a purple kind of glow to its eyes. But Devar is first up to act, so your kind of first space will be up here. So you kind of all.
Where that voice, where did it come from?
From the tower itself.
Oh, so like emanating out of the
Yeah,
tower?
it's like it emanates from. It's not like
Emanating
directional. It's kind of coming from all around you.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of run up to the little wall there and hide.
Like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
That'll be 11.
Okay. Okay. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Your head's poking out.
Yeah. So one of these guys turns.
Zip up your pants.
Other thing.
That was not my best attempt at sneaking. I mean, I got a +7.
Too many sheets.
You're too many sheets.
That's a lot of sheep.
20, 25.
Look at all these beaches.
This one as well. The two of them kind of marching forward to block the stairway leading up towards this giant construct. Kind of halting just a little bit before the end. One does notice that you are right beside him.
Okay.
And he's going to try to make a slam attack against you.
Okay.
That's going to hit. For 6 damage. As he kind of backhands you as he kind of comes up, only realizing that he's next to you at the last moment. Dee, quick to act.
I will Hunter's Mark, the one on the right that just attacked Avar. Yeah, am I right there?
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're up the stairs, so I've got a good angle
Yeah.
for my awesome gnome bow.
Yeah.
So I will shoot him.
Okay. Dee focuses her efforts for a moment.
9.
But the wind, once again, an ever-present foe, knocks your arrow off course.
I'm going to charge up the stairs with the front left guy.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's you can get to here if you don't, you won't provoke an opportunity
Okay.
attack. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Dane.
Dane's going to try the bull rush strategy, so he's going to run straight up to the first one that he goes straight up. Yeah.
Okay. You making a shove or?
I'm actually going to use a trip attack.
Okay.
I pulled out my warhammer at this point. I don't have my shield yet, so I'm going to make a versatile attack, swinging right above the halfling's head,
Okay.
and
Coming dwarf, so there's not a lot of play.
But just above, and coming in with a warhammer.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong mini.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm going to invoke the trip attack from superiority die.
Okay.
So that would be a 15 to hit.
Dane's feeling a little Dane, sorry, is feeling a little rusty from being inside that rusted armor so long.
Mm-hmm.
And your swing is just a little bit kind of shy. He's able to kind of lift his boot at the last moment and allow that. Or no, sorry, you're swinging higher than that. He's kind of leans back for a moment. And you're just shy of your strike.
Right.
Tyrio.
So I miss.
Seeing my friends not doing so well, I cast Bless as a 2nd level.
Okay.
You get a D4, you get a D4, you get a D4, you get a D4.
That's okay. Perfect. Tyrael
attacks and saves.
channels his god for a moment. A divine energy kind of coalescing around your compatriots, empowering and emboldening them. But it's at this time, this one kind of hops down off of a little ladder here or something. And you'll make it, so it's 10, 15, make it about here. As he as well seems to be closing in to bar you guys from reaching the larger construct in the back. The one with the glowing eyes starts moving. 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to stop right here. He's going to lift out a hand. And arcane words kind of issuing forth, not necessarily from him, but you see almost an ethereal tether kind of linking from the construct, just for a second, to this animated armor as it lifts its hand, and 3 bolts of arcane energy fly out. So there's going to be...
My gosh.
One on each of you who are currently
Up on the platform.
Yeah.
The dice.
So, Davar, you take 3. Dane is 5. And DD is 4. So as these bolts just fly out of his this armored gauntlet, kind of the purple glow out of his eyes intensifying for a moment while he casts this magic.
Does it knock some rust off?
Yeah, I imagine so. Regis.
We're outside.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of late afternoon.
Okay. Being that I was stuck in one of these constructs before,
Yeah.
do I see like an access panel on this one?
You can tell, like, this is designed very much to be almost like a tank of the kind of a magical tank in some way, but it's not completed.
Okay.
You can kind of see obvious points in the metal plates that could be pried or peeled up to reveal kind of the inner workings of the construct. Yeah.
Okay. And like, we would assume that the heart is in there somewhere.
You wouldn't technically know that, but that would be perhaps filled in for you as you're climbing. Yeah,
okay.
Long stairs, big stairs.
Yeah, so many stairs.
Yeah.
We got to
Like-
know each other.
Yeah.
There's like 6.
Stairs.
Yes.
That's a lot. My 5-year-old thinks that that's a lot.
Especially when it's all the small
You
races
have
you have to get.
5-year-old?
It's yes, many.
Your accent changed.
I know.
Totally bad dialects.
Yeah. Totally bad.
TBD, yes.
Okay.
That bardo.
I'm going to. Is there somewhere where I think it would be, like the heart? Like if I was just like taking a guess, and there's not like an obvious
like right in the middle.
valve.
Insight.
No, this very much looks like he's slowly trying to seal himself in,
Okay.
like kind of cocooning himself
And
inside.
it's not sealed in yet.
No, it's not complete. It still is definitely a formidable. Like it's not going to be just a simple matter, but you can see, especially kind of on this one side where the arm has not even been attached yet. There's obvious loose points, things that you could obviously see that you could either try and like just bash the metal in directly, or you could try to get some kind of leverage in and work it open, maybe like with a blade or something.
I'm gonna cast knock on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's loud. It's loud.
Yeah. So like, I cast. Yeah, I'm gonna cast. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but I'm gonna cast it anyways, and you tell me. And then,
Any door, passageway, window, anything like that.
yeah, like anything that's locked, basically.
Anything that opens.
Yeah. So if it opens, then you can tell me what happens, but like,
That's hilarious.
I love it.
yeah. Yeah, and it's loud. It's like like a big, like heavy knock, 300 feet away. It's audible from.
So I'm going to say that because this is not something designed to be opened, that you do make a loud knocking sound. And you actually see this one for a minute almost like it's grabbing its ears, but being that the construct does not have an actual access panel, you can see kind of weak points in the armor. It's not a physical barrier in that sense. This isn't something that was designed to be opened. You just see points that are exploitable. Unfortunately, that knock does not have an effect.
I hide. Oh, I can't. That's a bonus action. I do nothing.
Okay.
Oh, that's not true. I will inspire, Bart?
Yeah.
I will inspire our fighter since he went in there and did it.
It's at this time that the ground of this tower once again kind of roils. I'll have Dane. You have not been punished yet for no good reason. Make a dexterity check.
Check. I have disadvantage on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saving throw. Saving throw. You don't have disadvantage.
Either way, it would be 20 if it's not, or 18 if it is.
The mistake probably is being a dwarf. You're already very low to the ground compared to some races. Even if you were to fall, there wouldn't be far to go. You're able to kind of keep yourself low and your stance wide, maintain yourself kind of menacing with your axe. Big Rich, you probably want your pet to go first.
It is okay. It does not matter at this point.
Okay, well, both you and your pet share an ish, so.
I send my pet to help
Is he gonna fly back?
TBD and then back to me with the one right in front of her.
Okay. And this is all open, so you can kind of hover up above or do whatever you so choose.
I will also cast Shatter right right here. It will catch all of them, and there's 3 people which I can save
So Shatter is con save
at disadvantage.
at disadvantage, and that's what, 20, 10, 20 foot?
10-foot radius.
Okay, so you catch all 10.
Yeah.
Okay, or sorry, all 3. Okay.
All
Disadvantage?
Yes, disadvantage.
1 and an 18.
Wonderful.
We'll take one.
Okay, 1 pass. 2 pass.
What? 1 and 1 more.
All 3, right?
All 4.
Oh, this guy's 2?
Yeah. That's 10 foot. Centered. 10
Oh,
foot
10 foot radius, not diameter. Okay. And for that guy? That one fits.
Alright. So they take 12 thunder damage.
Okay. Doesn't gain anything. 12 damage.
And then 6 for the ones that passed.
Yeah, you're. It's a sound. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
This loud cacophonous sound rings out, kind of causing the metal itself to kind of vibrate and shake against itself as these armors kind of contort themselves a bit oddly for a moment before resuming their attacks. However, Devar is a little bit quicker.
No trick, huh?
I'm going to disengage.
Yep.
Run back a bit down the stairs, but just enough that I can kind of still see. Yeah, let's just stay there. And I'll fire at the one in front of Dane.
Okay. Sorry, this one?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
That'll be 11. Hold on. D4
okay.
as well.
It's not going to be enough. As Devar kind of quickly beats feet back the way he came, kind of almost offhandedly shooting his bow back over his shoulder, misses wildly. It goes kind of way over and is lost into.
Dude, I never said it was a great archer.
Pardon me?
I never said it was a great archer.
No, you did not. This one is going to disengage. Take a step back. This one is going to try and slam its arm into Dane.
AC 16 at the moment.
Sorry, how much?
16 at the moment.
16. Roll to 15.
Great.
As it brings its kind of gauntleted fist down, Gain kind of like catches it in the middle of his axe with like a kind of a sly grin or something. Smirk.
Can I use riposte on that?
Yes, you can.
When a creature misses me during melee attack, I can use my reaction to expend one superiority die to make a melee attack against it. So
Okay. Do you add that to your damage as well?
I am double checking. If you hit, you add a superiority die.
Yeah, can we make an attack roll?
Yes. D4. And I have the bardic inspiration that I can use.
That is correct.
So that's a 20 on the dice.
Yeah, it's any
25 to hit.
Pardon me?
25 to
Yeah.
hit.
Oh yeah, you're there all day.
7 damage
Yeah, it should be.
for the slash,
No.
and then another 7 damage of the post.
Dane catches the blow between his hands on the shaft of his axe and kind of flips it to the side, hitting the construct with the back end of his axe, sending it kind of off balance, giving him enough time to bring it around and drop the blade into the creature itself, dealing a significant blow to it.
Nice.
Adding numbers is hard.
You are not that bad.
Did I skip you?
Yes.
Did I skip you?
No, because it was their turn, right?
Yes, I
Oh, yeah.
just
No,
I
you
had a
posted.
reaction, yeah.
Okay. Dee Dee, yeah.
Isn't it your first?
Yeah, I already went.
Oh.
The magnetic board's not that.
You don't. You have advantage on one in front of you.
I do, and I will use
She would
that.
have an advantage in general on one creature that's within 5 feet of her. Just the wording of it. But yeah, no, go ahead. 'Cause you picked the person, not the creature.
And bless.
And bless.
I got blessed right here.
Try and miss. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And I'm going to invoke my planar warrior as bonus. So if I hit him, that does an extra 1d8. And all damage is transferred to force.
Sounds like a thing.
So that is a 20
20 is a hit.
and not a crit. So that was with the scimitar and 6, 7 force damage.
7 force damage. Okay.
Yep.
And there's not.
Is that
Oh
the...
yeah, plus Hunter's Mark. Thank you.
Yay.
6, 13 force damage. And then
How
I
are you
will-
attacking him?
with my scimitar.
Okay, viciously, or anything special about your attack?
Well, Dee's generally pissed off at the world,
Okay.
so everything is vicious.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, Dee brings up her scimitar and kind of slices across the front, but kind of feeling the blade almost snag for a second, pushing hard deep into the construct itself, hearing a loud
Do not kill person inside. Oh,
Where-
too late.
blood starts pouring out of the construct as the creature slumps and kind of falls over in on itself.
And then I'm going to move up. I think it was the guy up top that I had my Hunter's Mark on originally.
No, it was that guy that you said your hunting mark on, I think. I'm pretty sure.
The guy died, isn't it a bonus action when
Yeah.
the character dies?
Yeah, so it would be a
Okay, so when he dies, I can just automatically
Yeah, you can just
transfer
move it
Yeah.
So I will,
to whoever you want.
Next turn.
yeah, I'll go up and whack the sorcerer with the short sword. Yeah.
Okay.
You need to transfer your Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh, that's a 18 to hit.
18, you hit.
Alright, so that is Hunter's Mark. And
It's cool.
No.
Planar Warrior only goes once per round.
That makes
And does Hunter's Mark
Do you get
go
to
again?
Every
Yeah.
hit, yeah.
You get 2 attacks.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
offhand.
Okay.
Dual wielder.
So Planar Warrior, I've never used that before.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I could use it again
As a
on the
bonus?
same turn.
As a bonus
Usually they
action,
don't let
choose
you.
one creature you can see within 30 feet. The next time you hit that creature on
Oh,
the
so it's a
turn
bonus action.
with a weapon attack, all damage dealt by the attack becomes force damage, and the creature takes an extra 1d8 force damage from the attack.
Yeah,
so that
so-
was your
So I
bonus
used
action.
the first one.
Yeah, so it is your bonus action. It would take
Yeah,
the
so
place
it
of
doesn't
Hunter's
have
Mark.
Hunter's Mark on it.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize that.
But I had two, right? Because Hunter's Mark and then Planar Warrior.
Yeah,
so
those are-
they stack
Yeah, they stack, but they're...
on one attack.
Yes, however, they
Okay.
both take a bonus action to apply. So we take one turn to apply your Hunter's Mark, and then the following turn...
Just like you did, though.
Just
so
so
then
exactly
you
like you
Hunter's
did.
Mark the first,
Yeah.
and then you attacked with it. You got Planar Warrior and Hunter's Mark off on
Yeah.
it. But
Okay.
now you can't use either.
For
For this.
For
this
my
round.
second attack.
Yeah,
in
you'll
this
be able to
round.
reapply it later.
Yeah,
Okay,
on
so
your
that's
next turn.
eight damage
8
slashing
damage to the
damage.
bossy ones.
on the bossy one.
Did you do anything special, like apply your sharpening oil or anything like that to give yourself magical?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Your blow seems to strike, but it seems not to do as much as you had anticipated compared to the other ones. Tyrael.
Yes. I'd like to go up a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
See if there was a person or body type thing inside that construct.
Yeah, you kind of kick open the faceplate with your boot, and you see kind of another ashen, gnomish face staring up, unblinking at the sky.
How dead is it?
Very recently so.
Is it beyond 0 HP?
If you can try to...
Medicine it?
No, it would... Presumably it would be knocked unconscious, yes,
Yeah.
you could.
I'll kind of go on with my character development here.
No, go on, go ahead for it.
Boop-a-doo, I'll cast Spare the Dying.
Okay. Yeah, you reach out, kind of touching the gnome's forehead, gently whispering a prayer. The breath seems to be a little bit more even now. The pool of blood beneath it stops to kind of spread. You believe you may have saved him.
Excellent.
But he's not. He's still very unconscious. The eyes actually flutter closed rather than this cold stare at the sky.
Yeah, it says, you know. Yeah. Okay, and then I'll back up just a little bit.
Okay, it's at this time that again, as you start to move back down the stairs, the tower shudders again and sending a wave of force towards you. You make a strength save.
Probably not. Guidance myself?
No, not for save.
Not for save.
Oh,
Okay.
and it's a bonus action.
Yeah, it is true. Strength save. Oh, probably. -1, 17.
You feel the force kind of hit you in the back, and you start to stumble, but you're able to catch yourself before you go rolling down the stairs. In kind of a comical effect, but you are able to stop yourself, just like, whoa! Stop that last moment.
Watch that first step.
It's a doozy.
Oh, jeez. It's at this time. This one kind of hops down and brings itself up beside this one, kind of leveling its, no, it's not a spear, kind of getting itself ready to make an attack as it closes off your kind of avenue, your direct avenue. At this time, this one again is going to turn and lift its hand and unleash another volley of darts. I can only really see two of you, so
The bard is well hidden.
so there's going to be one for each of you, and then pick odd or even.
Odd.
Odd?
Same by
Yeah, two.
my
Yeah.
characters.
So you take 7 damage.
Yep.
DD takes
Is that
4.
barbarian?
There's no
No,
roll
I'm-
to hit.
I'm-
or-
Magic missile.
Oh,
No roll to hit, just damage.
Magic missile. What a jerk.
It's a good spell.
Cast at a higher level.
And
Warbles.
ISSIL.
Okay. Regis.
Dane hasn't gone.
Oh, where was I?
You're like
Three
three
out.
ahead.
Did I skip you after D?
Yep.
I think you were supposed to
Yep.
go before.
He's
You're
yeah.
doing a waypoint.
Yeah, he went.
Yeah, sorry, we'll do you right now. I
Yeah,
just,
no, it's all good.
I missed you because of the repost. Still
It-
messes with my head.
Yes.
Hate
What
reactions.
what
Yes,
I
I
am
did.
going to do is I'm going to do one of those. Pull up my shield and do one of those. And I will like spin up things with my feet.
Yeah.
And then go Geronimo, and then just run straight at the guy right in front of me.
Okay.
This is you, right?
Yeah. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to just attack, but I'm just running with the warhammer right in front of me and the shield, and just as I hit him, just kind of do that, kind of just running with a pair of scissors and seeing fight.
Is your goal to make an honest attack on him,
Yeah.
or to kind of knock him out of the way?
The idea is if I hit, that would be a trip attack.
Okay. Go ahead.
With this. Okay, so that would be 10, 18 to hit.
Yeah.
And I expended my party thing.
Oh, it has to make a saving throw.
The saving throw for the
Strength, I think.
yes, it's a DC 13 strength save.
Yeah.
And
119. Oh.
so that would be
Yeah.
7, 8, 9 damage.
9 damage?
9 damage, yeah.
It kind of goes flying back, kind of toppled over, falling about 5 feet as you kind of like, for a minute, you look like a bit of a maniac, and then charging in. You actually land a very reasonably powerful hit on it, kind of bowling it over as it topples over, leaving a small space for you to, if you so desire, take advantage of.
I will step forward.
Okay.
Just so I'm right there, yeah.
You kind of are towering over this construct as it lays before you. Sorry, now we're Gold Regis.
So I just saw him pull that helmet off of the guy.
Yeah, so Tyrael kind of kicked the helmet a little bit, and it kind of popped open the visor.
Okay.
And he saw that there was clearly a gnome stuffed in it, similarly to how you once were.
And I was also so I know how to open said armor.
Similar to how you would remove any armor, yeah.
So, well, yeah. So yeah, okay. I'm going to.
Cast now.
I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And how far back are we?
I would say just count here at this 5. You guys are kind of bunched up right.
5?
Yeah, you guys are kind of bunched up right in this tight space at the top of the stairwell.
Oh, 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, no, you just really easily.
We're all little people.
Yeah, just
Sure.
all grouped
All
together, nice and tight.
I can only move 15.
Small,
so-
compact formation.
No.
I am big rich.
Right
Yeah.
for a fireball.
A big rich.
Are you human? Yeah. Yeah, that's my turn.
Yeah, you
I just
Regis kind of
blink out. Yeah.
veils his hand over himself, and as he does so, he vanishes from sight. You kind of hear like little as his feet kind of go along the stone, the old cracked stone rooftop, and you've moved yourself somewhere. Big Rich.
Big rich. How bad is guy that's next to Dane looking? This guy?
Oh, it's shattered. Yeah.
That guy is taking. Oh, he's taking 6. Sorry, that's the wrong guy that I dealt that damage to.
6 or 12.
This guy's at. Okay, so this guy looks a little worse. They both look like they've taken a hit or two, but nothing too serious yet.
How many people in there? 3 allies? Okay, shatter again.
Okay, go ahead.
8, 7, 15, 21. They fail.
And none of us.
None
We
of
don't
them.
have to deal with
We
that.
have that.
I have that thing Dices doesn't have.
Yeah.
They just stacks a little bit
Sex
more
appeal?
rust off of this thing.
Oh no.
He has the thing you don't have, and you said sex appeal. Dice doesn't have any sex appeal.
No. Damn it!
Lawyered.
Damn it!
I don't understand.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm the DM. It was the other way around.
Okay.
Sorry.
I got confused.
Red on to the other way
He
around.
rolled against it, he passed.
Yeah.
So how much was the damage? Sorry.
21 if they fail. And 10 if they don't. I killed them all. They all had disadvantage, by the way. Did you? Just making sure.
Okay.
They're all dead.
Dead. They're not just unconscious.
There. A resounding blast. And this one kind of like hits the back of the wall. You hear, "Ah!" And then it slumps to the ground, kind of in an awkward pile. This one, which was landing on the ground, again, gets kind of blown back a few more paces. You hear another small shout once more.
I say, cover your ears.
Are
Oh,
these gnomes driving this thing, or what's happening to these gnomes?
This other one is again blasted back, and it kind of goes limp and quiet. The arcane essence that was infusing its eyes kind of drifts up and away for a moment.
I just assumed I couldn't do non-lethal with shatter.
I assume that you have not killed them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why they're dead. They're dead in terms of you defeated them, but the gnomes that have been stuffed inside are not considered dead.
So, I think they need a bunch of small souls to
Yeah,
stuff
some
this
sort of
thing. Yeah.
organic thing to make it work or something.
Yeah,
So they
it's
stuff
like
as many-
yeah, I'm not sure. Like it was just to stuff them into like make them as like I don't know. It's like that's the framework or whatever. You feel like almost the tower's rage itself as a wave of energy forces itself towards you. I need you to make a strength save.
You do not have power over me.
Bless.
Oh yeah, bless. 13.
You're barely able to kind of keep your feet as you kind of look behind you, seeing the several flights of stairs and imagining the pain that would kind of befall you to fall down said stairs. It doesn't seem like fun. Devar is next up.
Okay.
Unless there's something you needed your pet to do.
My pet will help against any of these moving at all? Any of these?
Not currently,
Uh,
but you would choose an individual for your.
I will help
Devar.
the bar.
Okay.
I don't know your name. That guy. Do I see him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not particularly relevant.
Yeah, no, I ran back to the stairs. I haven't hit yet. Would I be able to hide and then ready my action to pop up when something moves?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. So I'll roll stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be 23.
Okay.
No, 24.
Alright. Immediately after you kind of secreted yourself a little bit, two more of these constructs seem to come alive.
Okay. So can I shoot at him?
Yes. Oh, they're fast. That was fast, like a
The dash.
fast monkey.
I may or may not be out of area of effects because I did not prepare burning hands. And chose dark vision instead.
It's all good.
When we're going into the sunshine. Way to go, Richie.
I didn't know we might be traveling in
This one kind of scrambling itself, pulling its way over this kind of step up, and flinging itself out in front of flinging itself kind of in front of Dane to block his path once more. You do get a shot.
It'll be 19.
But you are able to hit one, just kind of peg him as he's running by. Do you have a preference if you want the left or right one? Or
The one that jumped in front of Dane.
Okay.
That'll be 16.
Good shot.
Okay, you kind of hit it like powerfully in the side of the head. Its kind of helmet spins around comically for a second before it's able to right itself. Kind of
see the eyes still.
Yeah. Hatiti, you're next up.
Once this mark is already up, it doesn't take
Yeah.
a bonus action to move it.
Yeah, it does.
right?
It does.
It does
Yeah.
still?
Yeah.
Oh, just not the spell slot.
Yeah.
No,
So
yeah.
it's
Oh, okay.
It goes with you.
Yeah, it is
It
concentration.
goes with you. It's just you have to assign it as a bonus action.
Okay.
And you can't move it until something happens.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna hop up on, oh, thank you, just on the side, nope, on top of the platform there, and go one more towards you diagonally. Nope,
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
diagonal. Yep, perfect, that way. And I will hunter's mark the guy on your right, Craig, yep. And shoot him with my gnome bow.
No.
Ooh, that's a 12.
Ooh. Unfortunately.
13, sorry.
As you, where did she move? Here? Okay.
Yeah.
As you kind of make your way up, this counts as an extra tile, just to go up.
She only moved 3, so.
Okay, yeah. As you kind of scramble up, you see your target of opportunity running by, and you aim and try and take a fire, but before your arrow is able to be loosed, it kind of dives down unexpectedly in front of Dane.
Okay.
Dane.
Dane is seeing that this thing's helmet is spinning. He's going to come up with a warhammer and try and hit the chin to see if it can flip over the thing. The helmet.
Fair
Flip
enough.
off the helmet. So 14 plus 5, 19
19,
for
okay.
9 damage.
9 damage.
And as he's doing that, he's cursing in what would be Dwarven. I don't know what that is.
Apparently, probably Russian. It's just
Yeah,
because
it's that kind of
it's not quite
campaign.
a tabernacle.
Fuck you.
Yeah, as you see his head spinning, you take advantage of it and kind of ram your battle axe kind of up, knocking his head back. He's bewildered. He's kind of taking a few steps. He does remain on his feet though, but he looks really worse from the wear. Maybe his shoulder plate is starting to fall off. A bit of the leather straps that hold everything together are starting to break. His armor is very dented now. Tyrael.
Did he get it out?
Or did you?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're paranoid now.
I'm saving a couple of things, so.
It's not paranoia if they're out to get you.
Yeah.
I'm going to bit better up a little bit. And wait, is that concentration? It is. I can't have 2 different concentrations going at the same time, right?
Correct.
Butts. Okay, in that case, I'm going to cast a guiding bolt.
Okay.
I guess I should do the voice. I will cast guiding bolts.
Okay, what are you going to target?
The main construct, or the main guy, big boss man.
The big dude? Okay, let me see here.
Ranged attack spell. So 16 to hit. What?
These guys seem to be 18.
Freaking got it.
There'll be at least 16.
Sorry, what was your attack roll?
16.
You see your guiding bolt slowly arcing towards it, but as it hits it, it kind of
Fizzle.
crashes and just disperses amongst the armor itself. You feel like you didn't quite get the right spin on it as you hurled it.
Excellent.
Clockwise. Always clockwise. Come on. You should know this by now.
And it's at this time that another one of these armors kind of rattles itself to life. Let's do this. 10, 15, 20, 25.
Quick, take a long rest.
5, 10, 15, 20. As another one kind of rushes from the side, again closing off, trying to prevent your access to the large kind of construct in the middle. And it's at this time that again you see another almost ethereal tether kind of lash out from the center of the giant construct. And another one of these animated armors gains that purple glow to its eyes as it kind of lifts itself up into the air.
Great. Now they can fly.
And kind of with an unearthly grace just place itself up upon the kind of platform. And he's going to cast.
Flare.
Is he flying in the air somehow? Is he like up in the air or is he on the ground still?
Yeah, he kind of went up into the air and then kind of like almost like an elaborate jump, but it's
So
slow
yeah,
motion.
I'm just asking if he's like 15 feet up.
Yeah, so he only raised himself up to kind of really
Okay.
get over these barriers without,
Hindrance.
yeah, without any hindrance. Hate running casters in some ways.
Yes, they are silly.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how much easier is it to just say, I hit you?
Or I
Way
miss you.
easier.
Yeah.
It's more I miss you than.
I miss hitting you.
Ask there.
I miss you.
Again. I don't really think this, do I?
It's kind of been the running joke.
Oh, there you go.
What?
I miss you. Like,
I miss you.
Derek just used to miss a lot of things when
Plus
we
nine.
began.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
miss you cast. Yeah.
Lots of nat ones.
Yeah, I was amazing.
He killed a rat that one
I
time. though.
obliterated a rat.
Yeah, you crit.
With sharpshooter.
Yeah,
Like,
that rat did not see it coming.
Who's vector plates on the ground now?
Skis.
big magnets.
Big
Anybody
magnets.
who's wearing metal can't move.
How many scale mail on fine?
Whoa.
Depends on the type of scale.
I got it on sale.
And it's like 35% actual iron. Might be even ferrous.
All of a sudden, you're looking at these constructs, trying to protect this giant metal golem in the clear of day, and all of a sudden, inky blackness all around you. You can't see anything. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Everything is completely dark. Regis.
Does that include us
It only
people?
doesn't work with that. It's only regular. 5, 10,
20. How much does it take me to get up here?
About 10 feet to
Okay.
climb up there. You can be wherever. You're at the axis point of it, whatever.
Hey, is that what it looks like? Is there a big arm there? Like, is that? I'm getting on this thing.
Okay.
My next round, so.
Yeah, you can. Are you trying to ask if you can make an attack against it, or
No,
make an
I
action?
just wanted. Am I up there? Is all I'm asking.
Yeah, you're kind of up right next to
But
it.
like, this is what it looks like. Like, there's a big mace or whatever there that I can like move.
The mace is not necessarily there. You're kind of standing right next to it, like there's.
But
one
I
arm.
can.
Yeah, you can leave
I'm
on
close
it.
enough to it that I can like.
Yeah, you're not quite close enough that you can really start kind of working it, but you're
No,
close
but I'm
enough
up
that
there.
if you wanted to, you could smack it with something.
I do not want to smack it.
Okay,
He is going to work it.
fair enough.
And smack
Working
something with
real
it.
hard. I mean, real good.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna go a different way with that. I thought he was gonna work it harder.
Make it
Well,
better.
you know.
But I was gonna.
Do it faster. I made you stronger.
As you see Regis,
Continue on.
or maybe you don't. Who's this guy? Tyrael. Tyrael sees Regis, and so does Dee.
Oh,
First-
I'm invisible.
Oh no, that's right. You are invisible. Nobody sees this as he bursts out. It's a good thing you mentioned that you were invisible. No particular reason.
I'm invisible. Can you see me?
Big Rich, you are enshrouded in darkness.
Oh, how far does it go? To
So if you picked a point about here, about 15 feet back.
okay. Could I try to get out of it?
Yeah, you could probably go down the stairs to eventually escape it.
Oh no! I'm trying to get out of it, go into it. And then
So
I'll
these
get
lines
back.
kind of are giving you the idea of that
Okay.
15 foot sphere right here. So you might be able to sprint by.
Okay.
Sounds like
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And do I
Like, does
see
he
the
have
big
to make
giant
some
metal
kind
wall?
of
Yeah,
wall to like move
Okay.
through the darkness?
I mean, if you want me
You
to.
trip on your shoelace.
Um,
I'm not wearing shoes.
and the owl will help me, and I will cast a chromatic orb at the golem.
Okay.
Which one?
The big guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Bless.
That wasn't a crit, but 18 plus 5, 23.
Yeah. What kind of damage is it?
It is going to be lightning.
Lightning. Okay.
Frightening me.
As Big Rich kind of roils up a sphere of lightning, holding it for a minute, unleashing it as this blast charges towards the center of this construct, blasting it. How much damage did you do?
18.
18? I had a marker, but it's gone. Yeah, you hit it hard, and a bit of it you see a couple of screws pop out that were securing kind of the main plate, and kind of shudder as the whole thing kind of vibrates for a moment. You do believe you've done something significant to it.
Oh, so was that like
A hit?
more than a hit of normal damage?
No.
Oh, okay. But yeah, okay. So I cast that, and my owl helped me, and does he have to make a concentration save?
No, he does not currently.
I like it though. I like where your head's at.
Devar.
Let's try.
I'm gonna dash and kind of run following Big Rich.
Okay. Presumably you would defer to him as he...
Yeah. I would have been close on his heels as he
Reach that
moved.
far, can you go?
Okay.
You
Go ahead.
You're
What
right
would you like
beside
to do?
him.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire at one of the lizard men by.
They probably cannot be seen from where you are.
Yeah,
Then
because it's
we'll
like
fire
a
at the
big
big guy.
bubble.
Yeah, you can fire at the big guy. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Bless. I'm pretty sure it'll hit, but. So 13 plus 5, 18.
You fire trying to line up a beautiful shot, but it kind of just hits at the wrong angle and takes off. This kind of giant steel plate, which is protecting its gooey center, kind of resists your efforts.
What did you roll?
18.
That's bad for us.
You rolled 19, didn't you?
No, I rolled 23.
Oh, 23, yeah.
Your charisma mod already.
AC's 19, guys.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you have that many charisma.
This one's gonna start backing up.
You just get 3 of them. Oh, that's what my
13,
13,
25.
That might be how it works.
He moved away from me?
Yes, he did.
Would I be able to do that attack roll thingy? Would I know he's there in order to make the attack roll?
You would presume he's covered in metal. You'd hear him for sure.
Okay.
But you would be at disadvantage. You can't.
Bless.
You are technically they are not in darkness. Only you.
Only I am? Okay.
Yeah, only you are. You're kind of right on the edge of it.
That is a 20 to hit.
Yeah. That's he's there all day.
For 13 damage.
13 damaged. First time this one has been hit, or was that the other one?
That's the first time he's been hit, yeah.
Yeah, it's this one that's messed up, I think.
Mhm.
Oh, there are 4. Okay, cool. And that's the match point. Great. Okay. So does it have any effect?
No, it doesn't have any effect.
Alright. He comes charging, leaping down in front of the two of you. Somewhere there.
Okay.
This one is going to kind of stay where he is and make an attack against Dane.
AC 18 at the moment.
He is nowhere near that. He's desperately swinging fists, and all Dane is kind of doing is just peeking out of the darkness for a second, like, can't get me, before you, like, pull yourself back in and hearing these, the sounds of these fists swinging all around you.
You just see hammer pants kind of come down and do the can't touch this dance, yeah. The automatic hammer dance. Hammer,
TBD. I think I'm pulling
Yeah.
out of the order, but oh well. TBD.
Alright, I will bonus action planar warrior the sorcerer.
Okay.
I will run up to him.
Yeah.
Thank you. And whack at him with the scimitar.
Okay, go ahead. Make your attack.
That's a 14. So I will whack at him with the short sword.
Okay.
And that's a 23.
That is hitting.
Alright.
Pretty sure that's a hit.
So that is this one and that. 9 damage. No force.
Once a turn, it seems.
Oh, you can't attack with your offhand because you use planar warrior. It's bonus action.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I missed. Never mind.
Yeah, this I gotta read up on your planar warrior. Sorry,
Apparently, me too.
what was the damage?
I missed. No, it doesn't hit because that was my
Because she
invocation
attacked. She
warrior.
used planar warrior
Was
and
my
attacked.
bonus action.
So that's her
Ah.
action and her bonus action.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait, was that the one that cast the darkness?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the sorcerer.
Yeah. I mean, presumably.
It
Anyway.
seems like that.
What's
but we don't-
the
Dane.
height difference between the
Steps.
steps there?
So just to get you can run straight up here, no problem. Going up the sides is probably just difficult terrain.
No, I just want to know what the height is because I'm fairly
Like
short. I want to make sure that if I can hit up a little
It'd be
bit.
a little bit taller than your average person, right? Enough that
Okay,
it's
so
just a little bit
if
level.
I go hit, it would be toes.
Yeah, you'd be hitting toes.
It's the stairs are for constructs, not
Yeah.
for persons.
Persons of
Average to not
Yeah,
average
yeah.
height.
No, Mishivan.
the what's it called? The
Vertically
challenged. Vertically challenged.
You're
What I'm
short, you're fun sized.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to run around that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and attack him from behind. But the opportunity attack that would come should be at disadvantage from the guy in front, right?
This
Yep.
Unless he's not blinded. You might have.
He's not blinded. It's
No, he can't see you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so because I like the darkness there at this moment,
Okay.
I'm going to attack the other guy and just be right beside the sorcerer when I
There's
can.
only one person in the darkness right now, and it's the monster.
Yep.
Nailed it.
So I will attack. That is a 19 on the die, so 24 to hit.
Yeah, you slam hard into his ankle.
No, it's not sorcerer. It's the other guy. So,
This guy, right?
Yeah.
This
No.
guy.
Oh, that guy. Okay, sorry.
so it'd be 7 damage. Sorry, 5 damage.
Yeah, that guy's already.
7 damage. Sorry, because it's plus 5.
As you kind of drop your axe into the back of him, the armor that was kind of holding around him finally gives way with a loud crack, and you hear another little as that one falls to the ground, not moving any longer, and a new blood pool sprouting. sprouting around.
I do love a good blood pool.
At this point, I will run up and just to the top there.
Okay.
One.
Yeah,
Where are you headed?
just there.
Just here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do we hear that screaming?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
you heard it. It sounded painful.
That's screaming.
As Dane makes his way, kind of beelining it towards the center, towards this giant construct, the one good arm that is attached kind of springs to life and comes down towards you. I would like you to make a dex saving throw as you kind of try and throw yourself out of the way as this arm comes thundering towards you.
With exhaustion, that's.
That's an ability check.
Yeah, so I'm good.
Oh, dear.
So
Plus
that's
D4.
18.
Plus D4.
Make that a 21.
Yeah. Kind of shaking off a bit of the rust yourself, you see this giant-sized arm come thundering towards you, and you kind of throw yourself back a little bit as it comes by you and take that opportunity to take your advancement further.
Question.
Bringing you right up. Sorry?
Now, the next question is: am I in range with him to use the riposte?
This is not considered an attack
Okay.
in that regard.
Okay. No, I just the whole thing with the riposte is if they miss, I
Yeah.
have to do something. But the other thing is if he's got, let's say, reach, then I
Yeah,
can
so
follow.
you're about 10 feet from him,
Yeah.
so he can still kind of reach you. And you're also his vulnerable part, which you've been informed by Big Rich is kind of a little bit higher up, so you
Yeah.
kind of need that little bit more distance.
Yeah.
Hitbox in middle.
Yeah.
Small, big, too big.
Tyrio.
Gnome size.
Rich heart size.
Norm size?
No,
Who's
no.
Norm?
Let's go. Let's cast against our large and in charge friend.
Okay.
I shall cast Sacred Flame. And this radiant, flame-like radiance descends upon creature. Dex save.
And he made a dex save is the question.
If not,
Very
good question.
I have this for days.
He's just like, well, we'll just keep it
Sacred
secret.
Flame. Sacred
Roll damage.
Yes.
We just keep him alive with it.
Somebody did 18 damage to this thing, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
21.
To this guy?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Whopping 3.
You see your sacred flame coalesce. It kind of shakes the outer plate of it just a little bit. So that brings us to 24, correct?
Total, yeah. And I can do that as a cantrip. Do I have a bonus spell I can do? How's everybody feeling right now?
Yeah, I could use a burger.
I'm down about a third.
You don't need him for 100 years. You can have
Yeah.
one.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm
You're
good.
all the way over there, anyways.
I'm good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That will be it for TBD.
Okay. This one is going to.
Falling down the stairs.
You hear a loud clattering
Yes. I mean,
as the darkness finally starts to vanish. You see that one of the constructs is misjudged where people may have been in the darkness and stumbled down the stairs. It's at this one. It's at this time the one with the purple eyes. Again, you see almost an arcane lash for a second connects to him as this darkness drops, and you can all get a clear vision of what happens. An arc of like thunderous lightning hits it and spreads out around him. I need a con save.
Spreads out around who? This guy?
This guy.
I am perceiving where that that arcane leaf that you're talking about is. I need to know exactly where it is.
Okay, just 1 second, and I will give you that information. Do you have a DC? Oh, okay.
The con save
75.
It was con that we needed to make?
I'll
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a thunder wave?
So. Okay. So, how'd you guys do on your saves?
15.
Okay. So you're gonna take 13 damage, GD.
Okay.
Dane is going to take 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Dee, you are gonna get knocked away and kind of tumble off the side.
Okay.
It's not quite a true 10 feet to force you to take damage.
Okay.
But you're prone.
But you're gonna say that's kind of the penalty for falling off, is you got knocked prone. Regis, you just kind of witnessed you weren't within the. No. That would have been super special. I love that. You stand to the right.
So I saw where that leash was going.
Yeah, you get the strong inclination that that specific set of animated armor isn't where the source of the magic is.
It's coming back to this one.
Yeah, you've even kind of had a few moments to see how Rich uses his familiar to fly around and aid him in battle. You kind of get a similar vibe from this.
Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna climb this thing
Okay, yeah.
to like get to where I think the heart is.
Okay, it's still kind of covered in a large plate.
That's fine.
Okay.
Like China or
No.
or dinner? Like what?
Japan.
Like,
Sort of a charger, really.
I got nothing.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, I go up to it and see if there's any weak points on it or anything like that. Like I'm just scrambling up it right now.
Okay, yeah, you can,
See if there's like a point that
You
I
can see,
or if I can like physically see the heart.
yeah, taking a look at it now, you see that there are kind of large cracks starting to form in the armor. Clearly it is taking the damage well, but it is kind of hitting its breaking point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe another couple good hits, and you should be able to bust clean through it. But as well, you can also see that some of those blows have kind of loosened key connection, kind of weld points. And you think that you should be able to maybe pry it off, just physically.
Okay, would that be considered an attack?
You would have, so essentially you have the choice of making some kind of, let's say, check to peel it off, or you can just physically attack it.
I'll make a check to peel it off.
Okay, yeah, you,
Doesn't matter, it's a disadvantage no matter what.
No, but it's not an attack, and I don't break stealth. I don't break invisibility.
good point. He just kind of flings himself, kind of grabbing onto the many handholds that this creature would have on its suit of armor. You pull out your dagger, which I really hope you have one.
Yep.
Yeah. Dropping it kind of right here,
Yeah.
under where the connection of the shoulder would be. You just start trying to pry and peel, and then kind of get your fingers and start like putting your foot up against its throat, trying to pull it off.
Yeah, I just want to see in there. That's all I want to do.
Currently, you cannot see, but you can make a strength saving throw. Or check.
This is not good.
Does it help if I allow you to make it in athletics? Yes. No.
Acrobatics, maybe?
Ooh, no. Strength.
Are you asking knowingly?
And this is an ability check?
Yeah.
Don't you have a +1 right now?
He has disadvantage right now, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from exhaustion.
Can I inspire myself?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think so.
I'll go wide if I do, though, right?
It's a target you can see within range
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
Pretty sure Bardic Inspiration.
Fire
Just hold it from
others.
there.
Oh,
Go, you
others.
bastard.
You got
Other
it
than
wrong.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll just try and do it. That's 14. That's 15.
I was just saying he pulls up a mirror to look at himself.
The DC was
bastard.
15?
He pulls up a mirror,
But because they actually
can't see
hit
it.
a lot of
He sees a mirror.
So Regis throws himself on it, kind of jabbing his dagger deep in. He starts prying as hard as he can. He feels something start to give. He kind of like inverts his body, kind of putting one foot up against the joint that kind of extends for the socket, and the other kind of up against the chin, and he kind of like reefs on it and kind of comes tumbling down. This is you?
Oh, I fall?
Yeah, you're gonna fall down here. But as you kind of fall to the ground, the plate that you were hanging onto just completely kind of shears off, and a cascade of bolts snapping and kind of clatters to the feet of the giant kind of before you. Inside, you can see kind of a giant mishmash of gears, all kind of in time spinning and clicking away. You can get the vague hints of something kind of almost dark inside, just beyond these gears, but not quite. You can maybe catch a slightest a glance at something here and there, but it's clearly guarded by one more layer. Big Rich. What would you like to do?
Am I?
Oh,
do I take any damage or anything like that?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. I run away.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just like, straight up, I don't know how much. I assume I'm prone, so I'll just move.
No, I don't think you're really that prone. Yeah, you can do some of that.
I'll just go.
That's good. Good.
I cast Shocking Grasp on the one right in front of me, and my owl will help. I forgot his name again. Oh, why did I roll with advantage? I will roll one more time. Sorry.
Because it's metal.
Because it's not.
Yes.
Oh
advantage,
yeah. Oh yeah. 16,
Oh,
17 plus 5.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, you reach out and grab hold of this construct as it throws itself down at you.
4 lightning damage.
4?
Yep. And I will move.
He's been hit once before, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, did he tagged it on its way out, I think.
Yeah.
3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6 over here. I will stand in the blood.
My gnome friends.
Okay.
I will stand in the. Oh my goodness. I lost it again.
Devar. What would you like to
I'm gonna swing at the guy right in front of me with a short sword.
do? Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, I also got
I
plus.
lost my accent. I pulled.
Yeah.
Nope.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Yes.
with his
It was bad rolls.
15 though. No?
Okay, so I have one of them alive. That one's the one that fell downstairs. Another one of these is going to shudder to life. 5, 10, 15. 15. 20, 25. 5, 10, 15. Right there. Okay. And this one's going to make an attack against Devar. Trying to slam him with its metal fists. I don't know why I rolled advantage. Okay. I think this 18 should hit. For 2, 3 damage? I think all damage. For 3 damage.
You take 3 damage, Devar.
Okay.
You have 12 hit points.
9 now.
DD.
I wasn't really planning on getting hit this much, but
Now you're tanking.
apparently.
Don't you have Uncanny Dodge?
No, not yet. I think it's like level 5.
Yeah.
Get uncanny.
So it's half the movement, right?
Okay.
And it takes 5.
10 to get up there.
Yeah, you should be able to pop yourself back up and still have 5 feet.
Okay, we'll get within early of the sorcerer again then.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wail one. So again with the scimitar, no bonus actions because I'm going to use the 2 attacks. 17 to attack once.
Isn't Hunter's Mark still active on him?
No, that was on this one.
Okay. So 17 just kind of glances off him.
Yep. Oops.
18
It rolled outside.
Yeah.
So
Reroll it. It should be inside the box for it to count.
it still won't count.
Okay. Kind of the tough metal exterior giving Dee kind of a hard time as she just in a flurry of slashes, but is unable to kind of hit those key joints that she found so useful before. Dane, you stand before the
Yes,
Your last name
kind of getting
Gabbett?
surrounded.
but it might change that. Dane starts to kind of just bump his war axe or his battle hammer on the ground, kind of in that Darude sandstorm thing.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of get the pace going. At that point, I'm going to use my second wind ability for 9 health.
Okay.
Second wind, the
Yep.
cleric's most favorite ability.
Then I'm going to step back 1. Actually, no, I'll just leave it at that for right now. I'm going to attack the sorcerer.
Bless.
Yep. That misses. So I'm going to step then I'm going to step back 1.
You've all been rolling great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's just you're backing up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we use action surge.
Okay.
And let's hope this works. So that's a 27 hit.
Opa!
And I'm hitting the big guy.
Okay.
Are you the guy, that big guy's hitbox?
I'm hoping I am.
So you
He said I was 10 feet away last time. So
Yeah, so, okay, so you're moving in slightly closer toward him? Okay, yeah. Yeah, Dane seeing this plate fall off him for almost no explainable reason, charges forth, leaping, battle axe extended out behind him as you drive it deep into the gears.
Mhm.
Roll damage for me.
That is a 9 damage.
9.
Yep.
Okay. This is new. Yeah, you actually lose a couple of the gears as they kind of spin and take away kind of from it. You almost for a second think you hear something screaming within the construct. Tyrael.
Let's do Sacred Flame. Dex save.
Okay, the gears cannot dodge out of the way. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yes.
Perfect.
This is how I decided to roll it.
I like it.
It's a straight D8.
Well, it gives you an AC for it, so.
Oh, 1.
Damage?
Yeah.
But it's not resistible.
It's radiant.
And it hit.
And it hit.
Yeah, you can't hurt it.
Things that happen.
Oh, yeah. They super happen.
Is that a bonus?
We happen to shit in
Is it not? I would also like to just go over here a little bit. And that'll be it.
15. As one of the constructs comes kind of sprinting back up the stairs, kind of takes a look around. 10, 15, 20, and 25 down up here.
Does he enter?
Oh yeah, exit, enter my.
Yeah, so both Regis and Big Rich would get opportunity attacks against it as it passes.
Bless.
Oh yeah. Well, should 18 plus.
You cast all dice.
Yeah.
So what is
I just don't even know.
Yeah, you hit.
This is so melee.
I know, but I don't even know if I want to not be invisible.
Just right as
Like, I'm
I'm
just
regular.
I'm doing really good at being invisible right now.
Do you want to? Are you?
No, I'm
remaining?
just gonna let him run by.
Okay. Yeah, it's at this time that the mage one, the one that seems to be some sort of kind of casting focus, lets out another
Count no.
thunderous strike from around him. If you guys could make, who do I need to make con saves? So it's 15 around him?
Yeah, it's just in melee. Anything in melee.
Crap. I wanted it to be better.
I did too.
Nobody's ever said that about Thunderwave before.
Okay.
I fail.
Fail. 9.
Okay, you both take
What
8
about-
points of damage.
His ally.
He also did.
Who? How
And
many?
you're pushed back,
8.
right?
Yeah.
8 points of
10
damage.
feet,
Yeah.
so she falls.
You kind of get almost slammed up against the construct, kind of right beneath them. This one is knocked away. 2 damage. I believe that is everything. There's going to be another kind of roiling to the ground as it shakes and heaves beneath your feet. Dex save, please, sir. 2.
No.
What'd you get?
4.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of. No, you just trip. So you just kind of lose your footing, kind of tumbling down to the ground.
All of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, all just perfectly straight, and then all of a sudden, boop, there's just literally 90-degree switch.
And it goes, and then it falls
I
into
tied
his
his
mind.
shoelaces back
Yeah.
on.
Regis, would you like to do? Is this kind of the mechanical whirring of these gears that have now been exposed?
I don't. And I can't read. What kind of savage doesn't wear shoes?
I am
Wow.
going to.
That has real nice shoes.
I'm gonna cast a mage hand.
My cousin.
His ability will go. Yeah. Oh, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move back this way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast me. Oh, I am there all by myself. Yeah, oh my god, I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go right here. And I'm gonna take the rope out of my backpack.
Okay.
And I'm
Right,
gonna
like
tie
this.
their feet together.
Okay. You
That's
are
my turn.
able to do that. They're not resisting you. They're kind of completely inanimate currently. You're able to easily just loop a rope, tie a couple quick knots.
Yeah, just to like, so if they start moving, I'm gonna
Big Rich.
do the thing that.
All right.
So
you hope
entertaining.
to do.
It's been really useless trying to help the bar. Oh,
Thanks.
it's been very useless trying to help the bar.
I'm
My
trying
accent
to.
changed again.
It's hard.
Yeah, I know,
Inconsistency is king.
Yeah, alright. I'm going to help myself with this guy right here. This guy. And I will cast Chromatic Orb.
Okay, go ahead.
I think we should just kill the big. Like, I think if we kill the big thing, then they'll all stop moving.
Your
I don't-
chromatic orb
I'm
is
just
at
saying.
disadvantage, and with the help action,
I
you
played
get
a video
advantage,
game or
so you
two.
can use it just straight because you're in the range casting a ranged spell in a 5 feet from a melee attacker.
I'm not within that.
Sorry. I thought
No.
I thought. Never mind.
No,
But
yep.
I think it still misses. The 17 hit.
It does miss, unfortunately.
Oh,
As it kind of like clips the back, but glances off shoulder plate.
Okay, and I am done.
Devar.
It's really good helping yourself, eh? I'm gonna actually disengage and
Okay.
then dash out of there.
6 is your normal movement. What are you?
5.
5?
But dash. So I'm
Oh,
gonna
but
go
then
like
dash?
yeah, I'm gonna round the corner there. Yeah.
Your damage does half damage as well. So.
Yeah. Because you don't have magical sneak attack.
Okay. It's this one and one of these ones, I believe. Yeah. This one's gonna close in on you.
Yep.
Shit, there you are. And this one is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. I think he's gonna close in on you. So against Dane. 20 to hit, and against Big Rich, it's cocked. 10 to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so Big Rich, or sorry, not Big Rich. Dane takes 6 damage. Dee Dee, what would you like to do?
I'm going to stand up. I am.
You're gonna climb back up.
I can. Or.
When I was on the platform, was I able to see if it was just a step down behind the main construct?
What do you mean?
Would I have been able to tell if I can go around behind him, or is there a wall
No, there's no wall.
back that way?
Yeah, there's no wall or anything.
Okay. Then I am going to go back around him, so I got 10 feet to move, right? Because I have to get up.
You only have 20 movement?
Well, I have 25.
Okay.
So around
Yeah.
down.
You can also
Okay.
dash.
I'm going to. Is it a free action to put the oil of sharpness on a blade as I'm moving, or is that an action?
Free action.
No, I'll call that. Yeah, I'll call that interact with object.
Okay. Then I'll use my action to keep moving around the back.
Is sprint?
Yeah.
Or dash?
Yeah.
10, 15, 20,
25.
25.
Yep. That's me.
I'm gonna be less generous after people hit 5. You're dead.
How you did?
Dane.
Dane looks fairly bad off,
Okay.
but I believe I'm still standing, or am I getting up and then doing something?
It doesn't knock you prone.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So
You're
I'm-
still.
It
you're
only
still
knocks her prone because she's.
Yeah, she kind of got knocked off the ledge. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
it's high for me.
Yeah, it is.
my guess is I'm going to attack the big construct again.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
That misses.
What did you roll?
10.
Okay. Yeah, that does miss.
All of a sudden.
It is still metal.
Yeah.
It is still metal, yes.
It's just not as metally. It's slightly less metal.
It's a percentile at this point.
Sorry, Tyrael.
Yes.
Sacred.
Sacred flame!
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Yes! Free spell. Haha. 4. Take that.
It would be
That's
awesome if you could roll higher.
Yeah.
It's a cantrip, so I can't.
Well, no, I mean, you didn't. That was your highest roll.
Yeah.
Was it 4? It's a D8.
You know, it could help with some bardic inspiration.
Well, that wouldn't help you at
Oh,
all.
combat inspiration then.
No, it would have to be the other type of bard.
Might help me.
Only specific
The
bards.
good bard.
No, the Valor Bard is
other
the good
bard,
bard.
yes.
Or the Knowledge Bard is the good bard.
The Lord Bard is
20,
the
25.
He's the funnest.
Oh yeah, I'll also obviously I'll stand up. Yeah.
He's gonna make an attack against you
Bring it on.
and miss.
Ooh.
The mash is going to send a firebolt kind of directly at Tyrael as well.
Bring it on.
No, lost it. That one should hit though.
Is it? What's it?
23.
Yeah.
It's a firebolt. It's like a D10 or something, isn't it?
Yep,
Yeah.
D10.
I don't cast your filthy fire magics.
Was it a 1?
It sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 damage.
That's my boy.
It has I don't know if you have a beard, but it's certainly more trimmed if you do.
I have long white hair.
Yeah, it's a little singed.
Who knows?
Big Rich.
I will. He's right next to me, so I'll cast Shock
yeah, he
and
is.
Grasp.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's a 2. And a 15 plus 5, 20.
Yeah, it hits.
1. Okay, 3, 3 damage. And I will also move away if I can move up. So
Yep.
that'll be
Yeah.
10, 15, 20. And I will send my owl to help. I forgot his name again. Devar.
Yeah. Okay. I have it on a sheet and I forget it. Okay, Devar.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot at the one closest to me right there.
The big guy?
Yeah, no, not the big guy, the little guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your name very hard to remember.
Plus.
Alright.
Did one of those move away?
I did.
Yes it did.
I'm gonna assume that I just forgot about the attack.
No, you can go ahead and make an attack roll while he's doing.
21.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Help.
That's your trigger, though. You gotta remember. What is it?
Max.
That's a crit,
Nice. Of course you crit.
and I will use my. I don't have to. Just do this. 7 plus 5, so 12.
12? And
Yeah.
14.
14. You guys are both hitting this one.
Okay.
Yeah, as you see it starting to move, Regis, you almost with a spinning back kind of hit it with your warhammer.
That's
Or so
Dane,
your
that's
axe.
Regis.
That's Regis. That's big.
Who did I say?
Regis.
Sorry, Dane. You kind of do like a spinning backhand and hit it with your warhammer as it sends it kind of tumbling and falling forward over itself, only to kind of lift itself up off the ground, only to look up to see an arrow from Devar just pierce it right through the skull. You hear another loud "Ah!" and blood kind of pools out around it. It's gonna be a fun game to see how many gnomes live through this.
I got it.
1 at least.
Yeah. One of them is
Oh,
still.
okay.
Devar,
We
Kitzel,
saved 1.
I saved one
one
right here
just
too.
died. This one is alive, and this one is alive. So this one's gonna come in,
Bad touch.
and it's gonna try and bad touch Tyrael. Missing entirely. The other one is charging up behind Gain. Again, no connection as it swings its fist. He's actually a little bit smaller than you, so I'm gonna imagine it kind of like jumped and it just like right under your beard.
Riposte.
Because if you don't have a beard, you're not a dwarf. That's
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 Well, no. I got the big
mutton
big
chops.
mutton chops, and then just here's like a soul patch, but the reverse soul patch. I'm gonna use riposte on that miss.
No, you just made a reaction already.
Yes, I
It's your
did.
attack.
You're correct.
Didi, you are kind of situated right back here where you would never be able to see.
Never be able to see what.
Your character where you are. You're so
Oh,
secreted
okay.
back here.
I am so hidden. Alright, I'm going to jump up behind the main construct
Okay.
and look for any
Stop.
Yeah, the front plate
thing
of
in
it.
the back of
The whole kind of front plate of it has kind of fallen off, even though you're a little bit by its like right ankle. You can kind of scurry up, and you think you might be able to do something kind of to its lower torso. There's gears whirring there. You could try to disarm them or attack them, whatever you so desire.
I'm gonna take my useless short sword
Okay.
and I'm gonna jam it into gears.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's resistant to slashing.
Because I haven't hit in 16 tries.
Yeah, so make a strength check.
Checks do not get blessed, right? So just
Strength, yeah, attacks and saves.
14.
Yep, 14. As Dee Dee kind of almost like a squirrel kind of wraps her way up the leg, she kind of wraps her legs around it to find purchase and then just jams her short sword deep into the heart, not doing actual physical damage to the gears, but as they're trying to spin, they catch on the sword and the sword doesn't bend enough. They can't quite make it, but they're trying to force. And with a shudder of power, they start spinning, gear pieces going flying everywhere as it basically strips these gears, sending them spiraling off out of control. In a burst of kind of mechanics and cogs that kind of spew out from forward. You see an old, withered form of a tiny gnome just kind of seated in a tiny chair. Just for a second, it holds perfectly still, and then it kind of like almost breathes to life and covering its eyes from the sun that it has not seen in a near century.
I will take my scimitar that has the oil of sharpness on it and whack his bloody head off.
Cheeky bugger. All right, make an attack roll.
Bless.
Oh,
I missed.
that's not a hit.
That is the opposite of the hit.
Wait. That is a 1. I can re-roll
Oh, yeah,
one. I thought that was a 7.
Yeah, you're lucky, aren't you?
Yes!
21.
There you go.
That is for sure a hit.
Excellent.
You know I marked off spell slots somewhere. And I used all my, okay.
5 damage.
5 damage, okay.
But I don't know what the oil does.
That
5 spells.
makes your attacks count as magical.
Oh,
Does it not give it a +1?
well, that's 5 magical damage.
And does it?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I don't remember. I
You're
didn't.
the dungeon.
I don't
You
know the rules.
You're the dungeon master.
I'm making this up as I go. Aside from the part where I'm following things. Yeah, you hear it like scream out and like like a hollow, dry whisper, almost whispery scream. And that's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Dane, you see this kind of withered lich finally exposed, a little bit thrashing about in his little cockpit chair, kind of buried in the center. Even his decayed and decrepit kind of rib cage, you can even just see the beatings of a tiny shriveled heart
I think you missed
under
your
there.
turn last time.
Did I? I don't think so. Maybe.
That's fine.
Aren't you
I wasn't
next?
really gonna do
No,
that.
you tied up ropes and shit.
He cast his spell after me, though. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I don't care. I wasn't really gonna do anything.
Dane, it's your turn now.
Can I see the gnome from where I stand? Would it be within reach?
Yeah. You can probably like grab a hand on some low centralized place and kind of pull yourself up and
Okay,
Oh,
so,
yes.
so I
Bring
can
up by
do
the dong.
the alley-oop.
The old cock
the
alley.
old alley-oop.
I'm going to use the old alley-oop.
It was
A bird?
one of the toys fell off.
Yeah. Fucking McCree. Suicidal.
I am going to use the alley-oop to attempt and smack him in the face. And that's something witty to say.
Something witty!
Something witty!
Something witty this way.
Something blue. Something blue.
So that's 15 to hit the gnome.
15?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. That hits.
Okay, so that would just be so that is 7 damage on that.
Okay.
Something borrowed is his balls. Something blue is also his balls.
Yes.
Something
old
old is also his
Dane.
balls.
It's still his balls. It's mostly just his balls.
Are you still focused on balls?
Tyrael.
Let's go with.
I have no other spell to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Concentrate on balls.
Guys, concentrate on his balls.
Oh, that I know from a little bit ago doesn't really work.
That's a con save at disadvantage. Concentrate on those.
On those balls.
A 20 and a 17.
How's everybody's health?
Definitely.
I'm
concentrate on his
I'm
balls.
at 9.
I am fading.
We're there. We can live one more thing.
I've been invisible this whole fight.
No
We
one
don't
can
know you're
do
there.
it.
The whelp strategy.
In that case, let's go. Keep going with what we know works. Deck save.
Okay, but this is actual creature now, so he can make his saves.
So it might not work.
Not if he's restrained in the robot. I don't know. I'm just saying.
What's your DC?
13.
And it is what kind of a save?
Dex.
Dex from the undead, shriveled up creature. Okay. One.
Wait! He's undead?
Yeah, he sure is.
Now he
Enemy.
is. Now he is. With your scimitar,
Oh!
you get
It's
It
a
only
2.
gives you advantage on checks.
2.
2 damage.
You crushed it.
Yeah, he's kind of withering and thrashing about violently. At this time,
He was saving rolls for person.
so just make sure I have this right.
Bonus. Is that touch?
Let me just do. I'm gonna say. So you. I'm gonna say he's going to start moving his kind of undead hands, starts chanting kind of a magical spell before throwing his hand down towards Gain as an arc of lightning kind of streaks straight towards you and then kind of follows along the ground towards Tyrael.
Hello.
I would like you each to make a save of the Dex variety.
Nope.
11, 12?
8.
And this is where I fall unconscious.
Oh, you saw one. So you both got less. How much did you guys get? Sorry, 8 and
12.
12.
Do I have any potions?
Does anyone else have any potions?
How much health do you guys have?
I'm at 9 at the moment.
This is your question.
17.
Yeah, you both hit the deck
Yeah.
hard. As this little arc of lightning surges through Gain. Sorry, not Gain. I'm gonna call you Gain all the time.
It's
like
all
calling you-
good. It's all
What was I
good.
calling you first episode? Ricky or something?
Ricky, yeah.
Yeah. As Gain just kind of shakes and quivers and like a little sizzling kind of comes out the ears before he hits the deck hard. Tyrael as well, not having enough time to fully get out of the way, takes the full brunt of this, knocking him down and out. It's also going to hit
Oh, 8 is
at least one of these guys. Your bless is gone.
Yeah.
When I
Still
get
has
hit,
it.
I will cry out with a lot of pain. Avenge my balls!
What balls?
I was not concentrating on
Yeah,
your
on
balls.
his balls.
It's his balls. You grabbed his balls, so it's borrowed. Oh, I mean, why am I talking to you? You're dead. Okay. Yes.
As I said, avenge.
I run away.
Avenge them.
Yeah, Regis, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm going to.
He looks ragged. I mean, he could probably take a bunch more hits. You should run.
I'm gonna climb up this guy.
Was that radiant
You
or
have to
necrotic
move.
damage?
To either this side or
pardon
that
me?
side.
Lightning
Okay.
or thunder, some such.
I'm gonna climb up that guy.
Okay.
I don't know how much movement that is.
I'm gonna say, because he was right here, right?
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 30. Okay, yeah, okay.
Is that? Can I melee him or do I? Have
Yeah, I'll
to...
say you can get within melee.
Of the gnome or the construct?
It's essentially the same at this point.
Okay.
Aim for the balls.
I thought he fell out.
Really big gnome.
No, he's kind of sitting in
Oh, no, I
there,
don't see
kind
it.
of
Oh, okay.
like you kind of broken open the chest cavity. All these gears have spewed out and kind of revealing him sitting in the middle.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on him.
Okay.
Yes.
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay. Does he get? What does it do? Sorry.
It makes him flee and take 3d6 damage.
It is charm spell.
They did.
Oh, but it has damage associated to it.
Yeah.
I was gonna do this one too.
Wisdom save, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, he fails it.
Nice. So now he has to flee.
Okay.
What
As he
is
can, as he is able. 30 feet.
When it failed, immediately use its reaction to move as far away from me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And take
3, 7, 11 damage.
Okay. You're kind of almost like a dark purpley kind of fog starts inking its way around him, and he kind of laughs. You think you can make me afraid? And then your smoke kind of coalesces, and he goes as the damage portion of the spell spikes home, and he kind of thrashes hard for a moment, be kind of slumping over slightly. All the constructs that are currently still on the field immediately kind of topple over. Several bewildered gnomes start kind of prying themselves out of it, like, what's going on here? The Lich kind of slumped over in his chair, not moving anymore.
I loot him.
Okay. Yeah, he's got some dry skin.
Is his heart there? I want his heart.
Yeah, his heart's in the chest
I
cavity. You just take it?
Yeah, I just cut it out and take his heart.
Does that count as destroying?
I'm gonna cut his head off, so...
My head off?
No, go for the
Makes for good eating, I think. You
Is
just put it in
phylactery doing anything special right now?
Now, like, what's the tower doing?
Nothing
Is the tower
different.
freaking out?
Actually, yes, it is. Now that you mention it.
I fly.
I put just a little.
I lay down exactly like I did at the end of last
right,
round.
Yeah, I forgot you guys were unconscious.
So you just have to have all these notes and then like constantly keep them out of order.
That's the best way to
Oh,
have
it's so easy. And just I take out a couple of important ones, put some unimportant ones back, and then when they finally get to that point before when you were supposed to have killed them, you got to figure it out now. This literally gives me nothing. Yeah. Yeah, you do feel kind of an overall shake and quiver, almost like a groaning of like as wind is being sucked out of the tower, like a very uncomfortable, strained cry as everything does kind of finally settle down and cease moving. What you found before doesn't seem to be acting any way different.
I kick this guy out of the chair and I sit down and just start pretending that I'm the evil necromancer.
It's a little cramped in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Your little wheels, you kind of start spinning. A couple of things you cut, levers you cut.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
But without the magic of the necromancer, it's very much frozen in place now.
Oh yeah.
But you have a grand old time,
Yeah, it's just for me.
You are able to decapitate and desecrate the body however you so would
Yeah,
like.
I take the heart,
Yeah.
and then
I'm just gonna kind of slice his head off and walk over and cast Cure Wounds on.
oh, you should do it on the
both
cleric.
of these guys.
Oh, you're gonna do it on both of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna do what?
I'm like, just bring
Cure
the cleric
Wounds.
back.
So, Freak, you get 9 hit points, and you get.
All I need is 1.
It's okay. You get 8.
I
Well,
open.
I'll take 7 if you don't need
I
them.
open heart, like I am surgeon, but I am not.
Okay.
I am.
I open, and then open again, and then open again, and then open again, and then open again until it's like flat,
Yeah.
and then fire.
You're filleting the heart?
Yeah.
The one that I have?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I can. Grab
I'm
it.
like, oh, this is awkward.
You're
Filleting this thing on my hands is a kind of awkward.
Yes.
And then you like firebolt it, I'm like, damn!
He
does it with.
Your hands make nice table. Oh, thank you.
The old and kind of desecrated flesh does not really stand up at all, and it just with a quick volley of firebolts, you reduce it to nothing more than like ash and a bad memory and probably a really terrible smell.
I put it in a vial.
Okay. You do so. I don't know what you're putting in. You scoop up some of the ash.
Yeah, just the ash.
And a little bit of vial and
Yeah.
you store that away.
Pocket it.
For,
Yeah, that's a memory.
Yeah, that's a memory.
It's like Dexter shit.
We must now spread it off the top of the mountain, top of the highest peak in the land. Sponsor us.
During all this, I'll do. Anybody need more HP just in case?
No, I didn't
got-
get hit, man.
9. Good. Good.
I got 10.
I'll just do my freebie one then. Channel Divinity, 15 HP distributed, however is needed.
It can only
Up
bring you
to
up
half your health.
So if you're below.
So you below half? How much you need?
No,
Nine,
take
nine,
6.
six.
Take 6.
I can take 10, so I'll take 9. You're okay?
That's 15. That's all I can do for you.
Oh, I got hit.
How
Oh.
badly?
I'm at 9.
Cure wounds.
Okay.
So we're just on the top of this tower now?
Yeah, it's super cold. Looking down, you
How much
see
you-
that you're probably about 100, maybe a little bit more than 100 feet up in the air
So-
on this tower. That kind of descends to a little bit of a platform on top of a bit of a mountain. And that again then descends further down into
Second
your
level cure wounds.
valleys and forests below. It's really quite a spectacular sight from up here.
I do a painting.
Do you have?
Bob Ross,
You have all
sponsor
that?
us.
No.
Well, you've got blood and guts you could use.
This right? Ash. No, but I'm saving this ash.
So-
Well, there's other
Is
ash.
that
Sure, you can make a
Eight.
what kind of check to make that guy make?
Performance.
Performance check. Yep.
And are there any more gnomes that we haven't checked?
They're
21. It's a very nice Viscera painting.
So
yeah. Use the dust.
Because it's like sunset, so I'm like capturing.
It's very macabre, but
Yeah.
has a certain beauty to it. There are, I think about 8 or so.
16.
Well, how many did you kill? So there's what, 15 of these? Yeah, you've got easily a dozen bewildered gnomes, kind of just between themselves. They don't really understand what's going on.
Although-
Some of them have wounds.
I'll
they
spare
don't.
the dying on any ones that are still not waking up.
Okay. Yeah, you can
So,
go ahead and do
it's
that.
a cantrip, so.
And
Yeah, okay.
do we need
I'm
to-
gonna say 1 is gonna be dead though, because you didn't get 2. No, 2 are gonna be dead.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
I
didn't get-
I definitely got one though, like immediately.
So I believe 15. So I think you say 13 gnomes.
Sounds good.
How many? Is there anything up here? Like anything of value?
Yeah.
Giant metal construct, but yeah, it's probably too big to haul away. But no, just very bewildered gnomes.
Like, if we all got together, could we push it off the roof?
This is a little bit much
Less.
larger, kind of something that you don't like. They were using the kind of magical animated armors to work together to assemble this, and it took several of them even to just like set an arm in place. It's probably too heavy for you to do that, and there isn't any pressing need to, unless you just
We
For the
want
wall?
to.
I just want to
Or
see
the
this
wall.
giant metal thing crash down the side. Although it might like wreck the tower, and then we still have to get down.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, depending on if everybody's down, we'll take a short 5-minute break.
Yeah.
So, as you have now kind of defeated this giant construct, and you take a short rest, during this time, maybe kind of helping the gnomes who are a bit more disoriented kind of get their feet, maybe kind of come to terms to some degree with what's happened. They all seem very eager to kind of be out here, very similar to the gnome you had met just a few floors below, who is being used as a bit of an avatar. They're kind of very put off by this whole experience, all relating a very similar story to you of this Quartztoil fellow kind of slowly driving himself mad to the point where he started abducting the gnomes for use in these animated constructs. You're able to start making your way down, taking a moment to check in on Adamar, who seems to be still fast asleep, and you're not able to wake him, but he seems to be sleeping much more comfortably now. And you're able to kind of make a small, you call the thing you drag people along in?
Sled? No.
Similar to that.
Like,
Gurney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of a gurney to a degree, kind of.
Stretcher.
Stretcher, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Just wrapping up kind of the bed poles and some cloth between them just to kind of help carry him down. It's at the time kind of where you reach the bottom of the tower. You don't really encounter any more problems. The tower seems oddly silent and a bit colder than it did before.
Can we wait a few floors up and see if we can hear anything?
Yeah, absolutely. You can make a perception check.
Guidance.
That's a 10.
10.
I got a 4. I don't know.
You don't. The thing that kind of more hits you now is just kind of the almost eerie silence of the tower. You feel a little less off, like you feel a little bit more easy. That sense of unease is kind of lifted to a degree, but you don't hear anything or see anything that tips you off to danger.
I was listening more for the constructs at the bottom and the who's-its and what's-its that we left fighting.
Yeah, you don't hear them at all.
Okay.
Assuming you wait at the top of that dormitory level
Yeah.
and kind of listen down intently, but you don't hear anything.
Okay.
There's a dormitory.
Yeah, it's at the second level.
I take a blanket.
Okay. Yeah, you are able to do that. There are some cold weather outfits for kind of the more smaller races, but you're able to make a kind of a toga sort of thing out of the linens to keep you warm.
Nice.
It's very trendy. It came back in style while you were unconscious for like 90 years. Okay, so I'll have everybody kind of place their minis over here.
Whoa.
On the stairs, or to a degree.
Let's be real.
I'm just somewhere over there.
5.
Looking heroic.
And Dusty.
And slightly dusty.
As you descend the final few stairs and you look out, kind of through the main door that you entered in just not a day before, you see a figure of Garen,
Oh, these guys again.
kind of with a human female and a half-orc male kind of in front of him by a few yards. You can tell by the grave look on his face that he has not enjoyed his time since your parting. As you look at him, you see that he's holding kind of an orb that kind of roils, almost as if a storm is being held inside it. and as your eyes are drawn to it, he kind of drops it, but a slow links of chains of dark energy seem to form. And as he grasps a handle, and you look down again to see that this ball is now menacing with spikes as an ethereal flail has formed in his hand. And he looks at you. He looks at you all. Kind of with a cold stare in his eyes. And he says, "Do you know what you have cost me?"
We got the book!
His
Pull it out
eyes.
of my satchel.
His eyes instantly lock on that. And just with like kind of, you remember Frodo in the ring,
Yeah.
or not Frodo, Bilbo in the rings, and kind of like that almost a fashion. You just kind of give me the book, and just like rage, just plain on his face as he yells.
I'll throw it at him.
No. Can I try to stop that? Or?
Button?
Why?
Can I catch the
Okay.
book with me?
I'll say, easy, buddy, easy. We'll give you the book.
Maybe.
Just
Okay,
take,
so she's. You've declared that you're throwing it.
I'm gonna catch it.
I cast Mage Hand
Yeah.
Okay.
and grab it.
Okay. I want to make a
Reflex.
athletic. What is it? Acro save.
I'm gonna do the
Acro?
same thing.
Save or just a check?
You can help him. So yeah. Just.
We'll
check.
both Mage Hand it.
Yeah.
So check, yeah. So that gives you
Sorry,
advantage.
advantage.
Yeah.
That was a 19.
Guidance?
A 19.
A little late, but that's okay. Yeah, you're able to kind of like the book
Our
starts
mage hands are like
sailing, and it kind of like hits and then kind of hovers in the air for a second as you've grabbed it, kind of dangling right here.
Pull it back right now.
Yeah, I do. I like grab it. I pull it to me as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Okay. His eyes are firmly locked upon you. You have the book now.
Where is our gold?
I don't know. I was just like, this guy really wants it, and he seems pissed, and so I was like, I just don't want him to have it. Yeah, where's our gold?
Dane steps in front, just because the
Other
Dane, the other Dane.
Right.
It's the right character. It's just the other.
Oh, we're like smashing each other. Get out, right?
So step out in front. Okay.
Yeah. And I pull out 2 hand axes.
Okay. And you're asking
Start
where your
sharpening.
gold is?
Mm-hmm.
Did he promise us gold?
He
Actually, I
fixes
did.
again
He promised
a
us gold.
cold stare at you. I think you gave up on that when you abandoned us down here. Do you
No.
see the rest of us? We were 5. My daughter perished. I think that book is well compensation for what you've done.
Well, deal was we go in, we grab book for you, and I understand you are grieving, but the
Yeah, he
deal
just
was
wanted a
still
book.
that.
And
You did not have to come in. You chose to come in.
If you make persuasion guidance.
I'm behind him. I'm like, listen, man. This
You should.
is not a fight. There's only 3 of you. There is no way that you can fight us for this. Maybe you should just ask nicely. That's what I say to him.
He's just gonna kind of start to kind of swing his flail back and forth. He says, "Last chance. Give me the book."
Okay, I just cast sleep. Like,
Be that way.
look at this guy.
Can I cast sleep on him as well?
It's at this time, which,
Do I get my spell off or no?
well, yeah, I was just gonna say,
Okay.
depending on what we want to do, we can either pause it here and resume with the start of the fight next week,
Yeah.
or we can try and run it. So, but it's 9:30 already, so I'll really leave that up to what people will kind of decide amongst themselves.
I vote.
If you want to run it right now, or if you would like to wait.
Next time.
What do you guys think?
I don't mind.
I don't mind either.
I'm
Anybody
in,
have-
I'm in the both category.
I don't know. How long is this combat gonna take?
There's
Well,
3
it'll-
people, I have 3 chromatic orbs.
It'll probably take at least 45 minutes.
6
Well,
people.
it just does. That's how long things take.
I mean, yeah, we can do it.
Yep.
If you have to go, I'm fine leaving it until next week. Because I know what it's like when you got things to do.
Yeah.
Let's put like the chess timer on it. You have like 10 seconds to figure out what you're doing.
Are you prepared enough to run it, correct?
I believe I could run it like. Sorry, I do want to make one small correction though. There's Garen the halfling.
Yeah.
There's the half orc standing beside him, and then this one is the dragonborn, not the human.
Okay.
I'm juggling my 2 axes at this moment.
Okay.
And if the sleep, whoever the sleep doesn't affect, I'm throwing one of my axes right in front
Well,
of them.
we might have to just roll.
Sorry, what did you guys decide? You want to?
I think we're 50-50.
Okay, let's just stop.